Alabado sea el Señor.
Many times,
Muchas veces
put me down a little bit, I've asked in this church
yo he preguntado en esta iglesia
if God
si Dios
has made promises to you.
les ha hecho promesas a ustedes.
In this church,
En esta iglesia
I have asked many times
he preguntado muchas veces
if God has made promises to you.
si Dios te ha hecho promesas.
The majority of the time that I ask that question,
La mayoría del tiempo que pregunto,
we get a resounding yes.
me dicen que sí, otra vez.
Yes, God has made promises to me.
Sí, Dios me ha hecho promesas.
And it seems that we are in a pattern of waiting all the time.
Estamos en un patrón de esperanza todo el tiempo.
¿Quién dice amén?
Amén, say
It
amen.
seems that we wait and wait and wait
Es como si
and
esperamos
wait
y esperamos
on these promises.
y esperamos en estas promesas.
So I'm going to ask the question again this morning.
Voy a hacer la pregunta de nuevo.
Has God
Dios,
made promises to you? And before you answer,
antes de contestar,
I want you to understand that God, just because you want something really bad,
quiero que entiendas que aunque quieras algo,
amen,
que lo quieras mucho,
doesn't mean that God has promised that to you.
no significa que Dios te lo ha prometido.
Say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
If you want a better job,
Si quieres un trabajo mejor,
God doesn't promise that to you.
Dios no te promete eso.
What do you mean, Pastor?
¿De qué hablas, pastor?
I'm telling you, God never promised to give you a better job.
Dios nunca te prometió darte un trabajo mejor.
What God promises to give you His provision,
No te prometió que te iba a proveer.
that God would provide.
Te iba a proveer.
He never said
Nunca dijo,
that I promise you that VP job.
te prometo ese trabajo de VP.
You can say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
There's certain things that we want to believe are promises of God.
Hay ciertas cosas que queremos creer que son promesas de Dios.
We want to believe that the things we desire automatically are promises from God.
Queremos creer que las cosas que deseamos son promesas de Dios.
But a lot of times, what you want, God never promised you would have.
Muchas de las veces lo que tú quieres, Dios nunca te lo prometió.
Right?
¿No es cierto?
But we want it so bad, it goes from a thought and a desire to a promise.
Pero lo queremos tanto que se
Because I want
convierte
it bad.
en un deseo, en un pensamiento, a una promesa porque lo quiero tanto.
You can say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
Am I telling the truth?
¿Estoy diciendo la verdad?
Sometimes God's promises are much, much less.
A veces las promesas de Dios son menos
Or better yet, more simplified than what you want it to be.
o son más simples de lo que tú quieres.
Amen?
Amén.
Praise the Lord.
Alabado sea el
Let's go to the
Señor.
book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 1.
Libro de Nehemías, capítulo 1, versículo 1.
We're going to read the whole thing.
Vamos a leer todo
It's
el libro.
unbelievable. We're going to
Increíble.
read a whole chapter
Vamos a leer todo un
of the Bible.
capítulo de la Biblia.
For some of you, this will be a milestone.
Para uno de ustedes esto es mucho.
This will be a first in your spiritual life that you will read a complete
Va a ser la primera vez
chapter in the Bible.
que vas a leer un capítulo
Unbelievable. How
completo.
many are excited?
¿Cuántos están emocionados? Ayúdame, Señor.
Nehemiah, verse 1, chapter 1. These are the memoirs of Nehemiah, son of Hakali. In late autumn, in the month of Kislev, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes' reign, I was at the fortress of Susa. Hanani, one of my brothers, came to visit me with some other men who had just arrived from Judah. I asked them about the Jews who had returned there from captivity and about how things were going in Jerusalem.
3.
They said to me, things are not going well. For those who return to the province of Judah, they are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem has been torn down, and the gates have been destroyed by fire.
4.
When I heard this, I sat down and wept. In fact, for days I mourned, fasted, and prayed to the God of heaven.
5.
And I said, O Lord God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps his covenant of unfailing love with those who love and obey his commands.
6.
Listen to my prayer. Look down and see me praying night and day for your people Israel. I confess that we have sinned against you. Yes, even my own family and I have sinned. We have sinned terribly by not obeying the commands, decrees, and regulations that you gave us through your servant Moses.
8.
Please remember what you told your servant Moses. If you are unfaithful to me, I will scatter you among the nations.
9.
But if you return to me and obey my commands and live by them, then if you are exiled to the ends of the earth, I will bring you back to the place I have chosen for my name to be honored.
10.
The people you rescued by your great power and strong hand are your servants. O Lord, please hear my prayer. Listen to the prayers of those of us who delight in honoring you. Please grant me success today by making the king favorable to me. Put it into his heart to be kind to me. In those days, I was the king's cupbearer. Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you and we give you thanks.
Padre Celestial, venimos delante de ti, te damos
Thank you for
gracias.
allowing us to praise and worship you and
Gracias por
partake
permitirnos por alabanza
in your
adorarte
supper.
y participar
Speak
en
to
tu
us
santa
now,
cena.
Lord,
Háblanos ahora
through your word.
a través de tu palabra.
Reveal it to us.
Revélanos.
Reveal yourself to us.
Revélate a nosotros.
Let us leave this place
Que nos podamos ir de este lugar
with a real transformation,
con una transformación
with a
real,
real change.
con un cambio real.
Let your word do
Que tu palabra haga
what it was meant to
lo
do.
que fue enviada para hacer.
Change us,
Cambiarnos,
transform us.
transformarnos.
In Jesus' name I pray.
En el nombre de Jesús oramos.
Amen.
Amén.
Now, if we have these ideas of promises that God has made, because we believe them, we believe that these promises are of God.
Nosotros creemos que estas promesas son de Dios.
And what it actually is things that we desire.
Y lo que es son las cosas que deseamos.
But we believe, or we get to a point in our relationship with God that we believe that God is our servant. Can I get an amen?
Llegamos a un punto en esta relación que creemos que Dios es nuestro siervo nosotros.
Can I get an amen?
Pongan amén.
We expect God to serve us.
Esperamos que Dios nos sirva a nosotros.
Right or wrong?
¿Sí o no?
I want what I want.
Yo quiero lo que quiero.
Give it to me, Lord.
Dámelo, Señor.
Another thing about promises is,
Otra cosa de promesas es,
how are you going to get a promise
¿cómo vas a recibir la
that you
promesa
don't pray about?
que no oras sobre?
Even the promises of God. God says he will provide for you.
Dios te dice que te va a proveer.
But how can God possibly provide if you don't ask, if you don't talk, you just expect it?
Pero ¿cómo te puede proveer si no le pides, no le preguntas?
We expect it.
Lo esperamos.
We expect every day for God to be at our beck and call.
Esperamos que Dios siempre esté disponible para nosotros todos los días.
Right or wrong?
¿Sí o no?
We expect it, and when we don't get what we want, what do?
Y cuando no recibimos lo que queremos,
We
¿qué
get
hacemos?
mad at God.
Nos enojamos con Dios.
God forbid that he gets mad at you.
Y Dios no se puede enojar contigo.
Can I get an
¿No
amen?
es amén?
I want you to understand that every sickness that touches your body doesn't come from the devil.
Quiero que entiendas que todas las enfermedades que te tocan tu
Can
cuerpo
I get an
vienen del
amen?
diablo.
Every hard time that you go through did not come from the devil.
Cada tiempo difícil no vino del
Can I
diablo.
get an amen?
¿Puedo tener un amén?
Every valley that you travel through is not from the devil.
Todo valle que caminaste por no es del diablo.
Devil's got to ask God permission to do anything to you.
El diablo le tiene que preguntar por
So
permiso a
ultimately
Dios.
it's from God, whether you want to hear that or not.
Viene de Dios, aunque lo creas o no.
Because God loves you so much that he's going to let some things happen to you.
Dios te ama tanto que
To
va a
wake
dejar
you up.
que cosas sucedan para que te despierten.
Question is, how much are you willing to lose
¿Cuánto estás dispuesto a perder?
How much are you willing to lose
¿Cuánto estás dispuesto a
before
perder?
you open up your eyes and realize
Antes que abras tus ojos y te des de cuenta,
that you got to change some things?
te tienes que cambiar unas cosas.
I don't see well.
Yo no puedo ver muy bien.
Amen? I need glasses for close.
Necesito gafas para lo que está cerca.
Horrible thing is I just realized that I can't see from far either.
Y triste, tampoco puedo ver de lejos.
Amen?
Amén.
I can't see far, I can't see close.
No puedo ver lejos, cerca.
And I'm also struggling with light.
También lucho con las luces.
Can I get an amen?
¿Puedo tener amén?
I find myself turning on my phone flashlight for everything.
Prendo la luz de mi celular por todo.
Amen?
Amén.
Struggling to see. But what I'm not, that's my natural vision, but I'm not struggling with my spiritual
Esa es
vision.
mi visión natural, pero no lucho con mi visión
See, my
espiritual.
spiritual vision I can see clearly.
Mi visión espiritual puedo ver claramente.
And you know what I see at the end?
¿Sabes lo que veo al final?
You know what I see in the distance, whether it's sooner or later? I see the kingdom of God.
En la distancia, aunque venga pronto o no, puedo ver el reino de Dios.
And you
Y tú
will not change that for me.
no me lo vas a cambiar.
The girl next to you or the guy next to you cannot change that for you.
La mujer al lado tuyo, el hombre al lado tuyo,
Your
no te lo puede
finances and
cambiar.
your health cannot change that for you.
Finanzas no te puede cambiar eso.
The only one that can change that is you.
El único que puede cambiar eso eres tú.
You can choose
Tú puedes escoger
to not see.
a no ver.
You can choose not to believe.
Tú puedes escoger a no
You
creer.
can choose not to have faith.
Puedes escoger no tener fe.
And lie to yourself and believe that you do.
Y decirte mentiras y creer que no
There's
tienes.
people that I know that are waiting for a promise to be answered that God didn't make and it ain't coming, but you're waiting for it.
Hay personas que están esperando que Dios le conteste la promesa, pero no es de Dios.
Sounded better when I said it. You're waiting for a promise
Estás esperando para una promesa
that isn't coming
que no viene,
because God never made it.
porque Dios nunca te la hizo.
But you want it so bad
Pero la quieres tanto
that you're sneaking it in, you're shoving it in,
que la metes por ahí.
and God's not stupid.
Y Dios no es tonto.
God's like, I never promised you this.
Dios dice, nunca te prometí esto.
My grace is sufficient has to mean something to the church today,
Mi gracia
but
es
it doesn't.
suficiente, tiene que significarle algo a la iglesia hoy,
It doesn't.
pero no significa
We
nada.
want more. La gracia de Dios no es suficiente.
God's grace is not enough.
And that's what He promised
Y
you.
eso es lo que te prometió.
His grace.
Su gracia.
That's a reality.
Esa es la
But
realidad.
it ain't good enough. I want to get married.
No es suficiente, me quiero casar.
I want to get married.
Me quiero casar.
You know what you'll do? You'll marry just
Y
anybody.
te casas con el que sea.
And you'll believe
Y vas a creer
that it's of God.
que es de Dios.
Marriage is of God, Pastor.
El matrimonio es de Dios,
I'm
pastor.
getting married.
Me voy a casar.
Yeah. Marriage is of God, but if you marry the wrong person, you're in trouble.
El matrimonio es de Dios, pero si te casas con el incorrecto, estás en
You're in
problemas.
trouble.
Estás en problemas.
Pastor, I need a better job. My job doesn't pay me enough.
Pastor, necesito un trabajo mejor. Mi trabajo no me paga suficiente.
Really?
¿Verdad?
What's wrong?
¿Qué pasa?
Well, I like to have a new car.
Quiero un carro
can't have
nuevo
one.
y no lo puedo
My
comprar.
house is 3-bedroom, but I'd like 5-bedroom.
Mi casa solo tiene 3 cuartos y quiero 5.
And I'll sit there saying,
Y me siento y digo,
do you eat every day?
¿tú comes todos los días?
Do you have a roof over your head?
¿Tienes un techo sobre tu casa?
Has God provided all that you need to endure this day?
Dios te ha proveído todo para
Then
este
just
día.
shut your mouth
Pues cállate.
and praise the Lord.
Alaba al Señor.
But we don't.
Pero no lo hacemos.
We don't.
No lo hacemos.
So one of the things we have to do, church,
Una de las cosas que tenemos que hacer, iglesia,
is we need to pray.
tenemos que orar.
Everybody loves the preachings.
Todos les encantan las
Woo!
predicaciones,
The music is
la
great.
música, es increíble.
But I'm going to tell you,
Pero te voy a decir,
out of 100 Christians,
de 100 cristianos,
statistically,
estadísticamente,
out of 100 Christians,
de los 100
two,
cristianos, dos,
two,
dos,
how many?
¿cuántos?
Two,
Dos,
have a real committed prayer life.
tienen una vida de oración real.
Who can say amen?
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
So now there's people saying here, well, I wonder who the other person is.
Hay personas aquí que
Because I
dicen,
know one is me.
¿quién será la otra persona? Porque yo sé que soy uno.
If you just thought that, trust me, you ain't that
Si
person.
pensaste eso, confía en mí, no eres.
Amen?
Amén.
But the reality is we need to pray.
La realidad es que tenemos que orar.
I want God to make promises to me.
Yo quiero que Dios me
Who
haga
wants God to
promesas.
make a promise to them?
¿Cuántos quieren que Dios me haga una promesa?
I want it, and I want a promise designed just for me.
Yo lo quiero, yo quiero una promesa para mí específicamente.
Ceci, you want one?
¿Tú quieres una Ceci?
Anybody?
¿Alguien?
But for me,
Pero para mí,
to be able to achieve that,
para poder
I
alcanzarlo,
need to have a relationship with God.
tengo que tener una relación con
Because I
Dios.
don't know about you,
Yo no sé de ti.
but I ain't never made no promises to no strangers.
Yo nunca le he hecho una promesa a un extraño.
And as humans, we break more than 50% of our promises to those that we love.
Como humanos rompemos 50% de
Right
las
or
promesas
wrong?
que le hacemos a los que amamos.
But I know that if God makes a promise to me, si Dios me hace una promesa, He will never, ever break that promise.
Nunca me la va a romper.
You know why?
¿Sabes por qué?
Not because of me,
No por mí,
because I'm nothing,
porque yo soy nada.
but it's because of Him.
Pero es por Él.
He does not have the capacity.
No tiene la capacidad.
Do you understand this? You don't understand it because you break your
¿No
promises.
entiendes? Porque tú rompes tus
But
promesas.
God is not built with the capacity
Dios no fue construido con la capacidad
to break His promise to
de
you.
romper sus promesas a ti.
Man, that changes everything,
Eso
right?
cambia todo.
Now it makes me wonder if all these things that I've been praying for years, is it what God wants for me?
Me hace pensar, todas las cosas que he estado orando por años, ¿es lo que Dios quiere?
Right or wrong?
¿Sí o no?
Is it what God wants or is it what I want?
¿Es lo que Dios quiere o es lo que yo
Am I
quiero?
believing a promise that's a false promise?
¿Estoy creyendo en una promesa que es falsa?
I don't know.
No sé,
I don't know.
no sé.
What I do know
Lo que sí sé
is if you pray,
es que si oras,
if you develop a relationship of communication, which is prayer with God, He will answer that question.
si desarrollas una relación, comunicación con Dios, se te va a contestar.
I had a person this week.
Tuve una persona esta semana,
Love this person.
amo a esa persona.
Incredible person. Great hair.
Persona increíble, pelo tan hermoso.
This person came and told me something that was so unbelievable. They will never know
Esta persona vino y me dijo
how
algo increíble.
unbelievable this comment was.
Nunca van a imaginarse que
This person came to me in sincerity and said, I want to pray.
con sinceridad me dijo, quiero orar.
I was like, so why don't you just do it?
Entonces le dije, ¿por qué
If
no
you
lo haces?
want to, why don't you do
Si
it?
lo quieres hacer, ¿por qué no lo haces?
And they were honest.
Y fueron honestos.
They said, I can't.
Me dijeron, no puedo,
I can't.
no puedo.
Because every time I begin to pray, my mind becomes distracted.
Cada vez que empiezo a orar, mi mente se pone en distracciones.
Who has the courage to admit that that happens to them?
¿Cuántos tienen
Real
coraje para
Real
decir
high.
que eso les pasa a ellos?
Your mind gets distracted.
Tu mente
You have the right intentions,
tiene las intenciones correctas,
but your mind gets distracted.
pero tu mente se
You want me to
distrae.
tell you why it does?
¿Sabes que te diga por qué?
Because maybe,
Porque de pronto,
what you're praying for
lo que estás orando por
doesn't matter.
no importa.
Maybe what you're praying for, you don't care about.
De pronto lo que estás orando por no te importa.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
You don't understand yet? Let me explain it.
Déjame explicar.
I don't shop a lot.
Yo no hago compras mucho.
Amen. I don't like to shop a
No
lot.
me
I'm
gusta hacer
dangerous.
compras. Soy peligroso.
I can't go to the store with money.
No puedo ir a la tienda con dinero.
Can I get an
¿Puedo
amen?
tener amén?
I have tools that I'll never use.
Tengo herramientas que nunca voy a
But I
usar.
walked into Home Depot and I was like, ooh.
Pero entré a Home Depot y dije,
And I bought it.
y los compro.
I don't even know how to use it, but I bought
Ni
it.
sé cómo usarlos,
So
pero los
I'm
compro.
what you call an impulsive buyer.
Soy una persona lo que llamas los que
Amen?
compran
An
impulsivamente.
impulsive buyer. I don't buy most of the time for need, I buy for want.
No compro por la necesidad.
Can I get an amen?
Compro por lo que quiero.
How do I know that?
¿Cómo sé eso?
Because the few times, and I repeat the few times,
Las pocas veces
that I go shopping and Grace comes,
que voy de compras y Grace va,
manipulating people.
una persona que
She has a way of convincing me
tiene una manera de convencerme
that what I want to
que
buy,
lo que quiero comprar
I don't need.
no lo necesito.
Incredibly upsetting. But you know how she gets me though?
Pero ¿sabes cómo me coge?
She'll say, hey,
Me dice, oye,
come on.
vamos,
In a month or two,
en un mes o dos
it'll be on sale.
va a estar en promoción.
And not only can you get the 60-inch TV, but you can get the speakers
No
too.
solamente puedes comprar televisor de 60 pulgadas,
And all of a
también
sudden, this excitement just fills me.
y en la
And
emoción
I'm
me
like, you're
llena.
right. You're right.
Tienes razón.
And I leave
Y me voy
feeling good.
y me siento bien.
But I ain't got a
Pero
TV.
no me llevo un televisor.
And then what happens is, 2 months later,
2 meses después,
I never got the TV.
no compré el televisor.
And one day it hits me because I end up going back to Best Buy and I'm like,
Un día me recuerdo porque voy a
wasn't I
Best Buy.
supposed to get a TV?
Y le digo, no estaba supuesto a comprar
Why
el
didn't
televisor.
I get the TV?
¿Por qué no compré el televisor?
Because it didn't matter.
Porque no importaba.
Because it wasn't important. Because if it was,
No tenía importancia.
I'd have been there the next day,
Porque si tenía
and the next
importancia,
day,
hubiera
and
estado
the
el día
next day,
siguiente,
and the next day, and the next day. I would have been persistent
hubiera sido persistente.
because it was something that I had to have.
Porque era algo que tenía que tener.
Right or wrong?
¿Sí o no?
Nehemiah,
Nehemías,
man of God,
hombre de Dios,
man of God,
un hombre de Dios,
slave,
esclavo,
but a man of God.
pero un hombre de Dios,
Slave,
esclavo,
but a man of God.
pero un hombre de Dios.
The last verse
La última,
says,
el último versículo dice,
the last sentence in this verse says, in those days, I was the king's cupbearer. How many people understand that as a slave,
¿cuántos entienden que como un esclavo,
Nehemiah
Nehemías
sat with the king?
se sentaba con el rey?
Nehemiah, as a slave,
Nehemías como un esclavo
drank
tomaba
with the king.
con el rey.
Nehemiah, as a slave, ate
Nehemías como un esclavo
with the king. And not only did he eat with the
no
king,
solamente comía con el rey,
he ate what the king ate.
comía lo que el rey comía.
Who can say amen?
¿Cuántos dicen amén?
Who thinks that's a pretty good job?
¿Cuántos creen que es un trabajo?
Can I
bien?
get an amen?
¿Puedo dar un amén?
Everything paid for, living in the castle?
Te pagan por todo.
Who
vives
thinks that's a
en
good
un
job?
castillo.
Horrible job.
Un trabajo horrible.
Horrible job.
Un trabajo horrible.
Why?
¿Por qué?
See, we watch Food Network.
Vemos el canal de comida.
I can't get enough of it.
Me encanta.
I can't get enough. I'm ready to do a road trip.
Estoy listo para irme de viaje.
Can I get an
¿Cuántos
amen?
dicen amén?
I'm ready to do the diners, dives, and whatever.
Estoy listo para ir a diferentes lugares a comer.
I got to take a road trip.
Me tengo que ir de viaje.
And it's funny because I've been to some of these cities and I've never seen those restaurants.
Cómico
Why?
porque voy a estas
But
ciudades
anyways.
y nunca encuentro los restaurantes.
I love it.
Me encanta.
And the fact that he gets to taste
Que él
all
pueda,
this amazing food, I'm like, man,
que se pueda comer tanta
Who doesn't want that job?
diferente. ¿Cuántos no quieren ese trabajo?
the difference between what he does
La diferencia de lo que él hace
and what Nehemiah does
y lo que Nehemías hace
is that Nehemiah
es que Nehemías
is also a food taster.
también es uno que prueba la comida.
He's also a food taster.
Él prueba la
But
comida.
the difference is
La diferencia es
that his job
que el trabajo de
is
él
to drink
es tomar
and taste everything
y probar todo
for the king.
para el rey.
That's pretty good too.
También suena muy bien,
Right or wrong?
¿sí o no?
Filet mignon. undercooked, take it back.
No está cocinado bien.
Who would like to
Devuélvelo.
do that?
¿Cuánto le gustaría hacer eso?
Right? But that wasn't his job either.
Pero ese no fue el trabajo de él
Pastor,
tampoco.
his job was to taste food. You know why?
El trabajo de él fue para proveer la
Because
comida.
people
¿Por qué?
wanted to kill the king.
Porque la gente quería matar al
They
rey.
wanted to kill the king.
Querían
And the
matar
way
al
to
rey.
kill him
Y para matarlo
was to poison him.
era para envenenarlo.
That's why the king loved him so much.
Por eso el rey lo amaba tanto.
Because he was the poison prevention program.
Porque era el que
If
lo
he
cuidaba.
eats it and he doesn't die, that means I can eat it and not
Si
die.
él se comía la comida y no se moría, entonces yo me la puedo comer y no me muero.
But Nehemiah,
Pero Nehemías,
a slave, gets a visit.
un esclavo,
And what
recibe una
happens is
visita
somebody gives him bad news.
y alguien le da noticias malas.
How many people understand that your life can go from living real good one day
Cuando entienden que tu vida puede ir de vivir
Sitting at the
muy
king's
bien,
table.
sentado en la mesa del rey,
and just like this,
y con un instante
it can turn upside down?
se puede
Who can say amen?
voltear boca abajo.
1 minute your life can be going real good.
Un minuto tu vida está muy bien.
Bam! Just like that, your minute now, your life right now in a minute is upside down.
En un minuto tu vida
And
está
that's what
boca
happened.
abajo.
They came and he asked, how are my people doing? And they said, not good.
Vinieron y le preguntaron cómo está mi gente.
Jerusalem
No están bien.
is in
Jerusalén
worse condition than it's ever been.
está en condición muy mala que ha estado antes.
Worst condition that it's ever been. The walls have broken down
La
now.
condición más peor, las paredes se han derrotado.
It's horrible shame. How many people understand that?
¿Cuándo entienden eso?
Pastor tells you all the time,
Pastor te dice todo el tiempo,
live right.
vive correcto.
Stop living the way you do. Start praying, start doing, and you don't listen.
Para vivir como vives, empieza a orar y no escuchas.
I'm here to tell you, you need to take it with the same urgency.
Estoy aquí para decirte que tienes que tomarlo
When
con
somebody
urgencia.
comes and they tell you something that you know is true, wake up.
Cuando alguien viene y te dice
Wake
algo
up
que
and
es verdad,
accept
despiértate y
it.
acéptalo.
God will place people around you that love you and hate you.
Dios te va a poner gente alrededor de ti que te ama y que te odia.
You can say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
Pastor, why would you put people around me that don't like me?
Pastor, ¿por qué me va a poner gente alrededor que me
Because
odia?
there is people
Porque hay gente
in this world
en este mundo
that are just like that.
que solamente son así.
And you have to live in this world.
Y tienes que vivir
The
en
Bible
este mundo.
says
La Biblia dice
that we live in this world
que vivimos en este
even though
mundo,
we are not of this world.
aunque no seamos parte de
So
este
I'm going to
mundo.
have to deal with certain people's attitudes.
Voy a tener que lidiar con las actitudes de gente.
But I need to be spiritual enough to reject that
Pero tengo que ser espiritual para
and
rechazarlo
accept those that God has placed in my life that do love me,
y aceptar a los que Dios
that
tiene
honestly
que me
have
aman,
good intentions for
que
me.
tienen buenas intenciones para
And
mí.
that's not many.
Y no es mucho.
Amen.
No
Not
es
many.
mucho.
Amen.
What does Nehemiah do? As soon as he finds out this news, what does he do?
¿Qué hace Nehemías cuando le dicen las noticias?
It hits him so hard. Why? Because he loves for real.
Le da tan duro. ¿Por qué? Porque él ama.
He loves Israel. He loves God's people so much that it brings him to his knees.
Él ama a la gente de Dios tanto que lo pone de rodillas.
When was the last time you heard something about one of your brothers and sisters that brought you to your knees?
¿Cuándo es la última vez que escuchaste algo de tu hermano que te trajo a tus rodillas?
Instead, it brings you to gossip.
Antes se trajo al chisme,
Brings you to judgment.
al juicio.
Well, if she's going through that, can you imagine what she must have done?
Si ella está pasando por eso, ¿te puedes imaginar lo que hizo?
May God have mercy on you for
Que
saying
Dios
that.
tenga misericordia sobre ti por
May
decir
God
eso.
have mercy on you for saying that.
Que Dios tenga misericordia en
Amen.
ti por lo que dices.
But he was touched hard.
Pero
He
se lo
dropped to
tocó,
his knees
se cayó en sus
and he
rodillas.
began to cry out and pray to
Y
God.
empezó a llorar y orar a Dios.
Pray to God.
Le oró.
Who can say amen?
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
God is looking for people today
Dios está buscando para gente hoy
that are going to do that,
que van a hacer eso,
that are going to respond like that.
que van a responder así.
People that you can say, hey man,
Gente que pueda decir,
you know, this is going on.
mira, esto está pasando.
And that the tongue of judgment won't come forward.
Que la lengua del juicio no salga.
This room is a room filled with murderers.
Este lugar es lleno de los que matan.
Can I get an
Asesinos.
amen?
Me dicen amén.
Nobody's going to admit that.
Come on.
Pero nadie lo va a admitir.
Because you're smart.
Porque eres inteligente.
You're not going to put yourself out there, but I'm going to tell you
No te
something.
vas a poner ahí, pero
If
te voy
you've
a decir
ever
algo.
opened your mouth
Si has abierto tu boca
to come against somebody
a venir en contra de
and to
alguien
badmouth them
y hablar mal de
and to
ellos,
say bad things, guess what? You're a murderer.
eres un asesino.
You're a murderer.
Eres un asesino.
They might be alive.
De pronto están vivos.
They might be more alive than
De
you.
pronto están más vivos.
Not
que
just
tú.
in the flesh, but in the spirit. But
No
you're a
solo en el
murderer.
espíritu, pero tú eres un asesino.
You're a murderer.
Eres un asesino.
And what does the Bible say?
¿Qué dice la Biblia?
Ain't getting into heaven.
No vas para el cielo.
You kill people. You slander people.
Matas a la
You put
gente.
people down.
Hablas mal
Who
de
gave you the
ellos.
right?
¿Quién te dio el
When
derecho?
Jesus, knowing how horrible you really are, says you're a masterpiece.
Cuando Jesús,
You've learned
conociendo
nothing.
qué feo que eres,
And I have to
dice que eres
believe
una maestra.
that you don't serve the same God that I serve.
Tú no sirves el mismo Dios que yo sirvo.
Come on.
It's like people are not happy with me today.
Unas personas no están bien contentos conmigo hoy,
But I gotta tell you the truth.
pero les tengo que decir la verdad.
Amen.
What do we do?
¿Qué hacemos?
What do we do? There's trouble around us. What do we do?
Hay tantos problemas alrededor. ¿Qué hacemos?
What do we do?
¿Qué hacemos?
I'll tell you what you do.
Te digo lo que tienes que hacer.
You react like Nehemiah.
Tienes que reaccionar como Nehemías.
First thing,
Primero,
you fall on your knees
te pones de rodillas
and you begin to
y
pray.
empiezas a orar.
And you learn how to pray.
Aprendes a orar.
Person tells me, I want to pray,
La persona me dice, yo quiero orar,
but I can't.
pero no puedo.
If you struggle with that, we're going to pray for that this
Si
morning.
luchas con eso hoy, vamos a orar por ti.
Because that is exactly what the enemy wants.
Porque eso es exactamente lo que el enemigo quiere.
If you can't talk to God,
Si no le puedes hablar a Dios,
you can't know God.
no puedes conocer a
If you
Dios.
can't know
Si
God,
no puedes conocer a
you
Dios,
can't hear God.
no lo puedes escuchar.
You understand
¿Tú
that?
entiendes eso?
What ends up happening is you'll have people, I get people all the time that come to me and they'll ask me,
Hay gente que viene y me pregunta,
they'll say, man, I think God told me this.
me dice, creo que Dios me dijo esto.
What do you mean you think?
Le dices que
If
piensas.
it's God, you know.
Si es Dios, tú tienes que saber.
You know why? Because you have a relationship with
¿Tú
God.
sabes por qué? Porque tienes una relación con Dios.
Jesus says, they will know my voice.
Jesús dice, van a conocer
So
mi
it can't be
voz.
like somebody's just saying anything.
No puede ser como
Because
si
you know God,
porque conoces a Dios,
God will speak to you.
Dios te va a hablar.
He will.
Él te va a hablar.
He doesn't need me to speak to
No
you.
necesita que yo te hable.
I don't have to go to God, Lord, tell me so I can tell her.
No tengo que preguntarle a Dios que
That
me
was
hable a mí
eliminated.
para que yo le pueda decir.
But you have to desire to pray.
Tienes que desear orar.
You need to prepare yourself before you pray.
Tienes que preparar antes que
Lord, I'm
ores.
about to do this, God, and I know that I am going to be distracted.
Señor, voy a hacer eso y yo sé que me voy a distraer.
I'm sure that I might have 30 seconds.
Estoy seguro que tengo 30 segundos.
So God, make my first 30 seconds powerful.
Entonces que mis primeros 30 segundos sean
And
poderosos.
then after that, help me, Lord, stay focused. Help
Pues
me.
ayúdame a mantenerme enfocado.
That's what you do.
Eso es lo que tienes que hacer.
And little by little, the 30 seconds will become 40, become 5 minutes. Before you know it, you can actually pray.
Poquito por poquito los 30 segundos se convierten en 45 minutos.
But you better, because God has jobs for us to do.
Lo tienes que aprender porque Dios tiene un trabajo por
God
ti.
did not call you to come here for nothing.
No te llamó para que estés aquí para nada.
If you believe that you're supposed to go to church on Sundays, I'm here to tell you, you're wrong.
Si tú crees que estás aquí
You're
para venir
supposed
a la
to do
iglesia el
more
domingo,
than this.
estás supuesto a hacer más que esto.
Every single one of you's got to do more than just this.
Cada uno de ustedes tiene que hacer más.
Let's go to Isaiah 6:8.
Isaías 6:8.
It's hard, Pastor.
Es difícil,
It's
pastor.
hard.
Es difícil.
It's hard to just have that, get up and go mentality.
Es difícil tener esa mentalidad de pararme e irme. Es
I know it's
difícil.
hard, but that's what God requires.
Lo que sé que es difícil, pero eso es lo que Dios requiere.
Can I get an
¿Puedo
amen?
tener un amén?
Church, stay focused.
Iglesia, enfócate.
That is what God requires.
Eso es lo que Dios requiere.
You can't serve Him a little.
No lo puedes servir solo un poquito.
You can't serve Him with half.
No lo puedes servir con
God is
mitad.
all or nothing. The same way He gives to you, He expects from you.
Dios es todo o nada. Lo que Él te
Yes.
da a ti, Él espera de ti.
You will make mistakes.
Sí, vas a
Yes.
cometer
You
errores.
will fall and get back up. But His expectation
Sí, te caes y te levantas, pero su
is that
esperanza,
whenever something happens, He's the first thing on your mind.
su expectativa es que cuando algo sucede, es la primera cosa en tu mente.
God has become a final option for us.
Dios se ha convertido en una opción final para nosotros.
I've tried it all, Pastor.
Lo he tratado todo, pastor.
Listen to this. I get this.
Me dice de eso,
Pastor,
gente.
I've done it all.
Pastor, lo he hecho todo.
So I've decided to leave it in God's hands.
Entonces he decidido dejarlo en las manos de Dios.
What?
¿Qué?
You should have started with that.
Hubieras empezado con eso.
Put it first in God's hands
Primero pon en la mano de Dios.
and then do whatever you want to do. But we do it
Después
backwards
haz lo que quieres, pero lo hacemos
because
al
we
revés.
trust us.
Porque confiamos en nosotros.
Isaiah 6:8.
Isaías 6:8.
God is looking for somebody. Somebody's going to respond like this.
Dios está buscando a alguien y alguien va a
And
responder
it's you.
así.
And I don't know in what capacity, but I'm talking to everybody
Estoy
today.
hablando a todos hoy.
In some capacity, God is going to knock on the door of your heart and He's going to ask you.
En una capacidad, Dios te va a tocar la puerta de tu corazón y te va a preguntar.
And you're going to say one of two things,
Tú vas
yes
a
or
decir
no.
una de dos cosas, sí y
Your
no.
reasons for saying yes or no are my problem.
Pero tus razones por decir sí y no es mi problema.
Because a lot of you will say no to God because He has not given you
Muchos de
what
ustedes
you're asking for.
van a decir no a Dios porque no te ha dado lo que le pediste.
I'm going to give it all to God, but I'm still waiting.
Se lo voy a dar todo a Dios, pero aún espero.
The Bible says, they that wait upon the Lord
El Señor dice que ellos que esperan en el
shall
Señor
renew their strength. Well, I need my
para
strength
renovar su
renewed
fortaleza.
because I'm waiting.
Necesito mi fortaleza
I
renovada,
want
voy
to
a
fly. I
esperar.
want to mount up with wings, but God has got to give me mine first.
Quiero volar, pero Dios me tiene que dar lo mío primero.
And God is like, but I never promised this.
Si Dios te dice, nunca te lo prometí.
I never told you I was going to fix this person.
Nunca te dije que iba a arreglar a esta persona.
I never told you I was going to give you a new car.
Nunca te dije que te iba a dar un carro
You
nuevo.
prayed for transportation.
Tú oraste por transportación.
I got you a Toyota Tercel.
Te di un Toyota.
I don't like it.
No me gusta.
But I gave you transportation.
Pero te di
I
transportación.
told you I would give you means to get from A to B.
Te dije que te iba a dar un modo de llegar a A a
Yeah, but
B.
I'm the child of a king.
Sí, pero que soy un hijo de un rey.
I should have a Mercedes.
Debo tener un Mercedes.
What promises do you believe He's made for you?
¿Qué promesas tú crees que Él te ha hecho?
God promised me that I was never going to be alone.
Dios me prometió que nunca iba a estar solo.
You say amen.
Cuando dicen amén,
Amen. Look around.
mira alrededor.
You're not alone.
No estás solo.
Amen.
Amén.
Check it off the list.
Sácalo de la lista.
But no, because I need companionship
No, porque necesito compañía.
at 1 in the morning.
A la 1 de la mañana
It's like I get a little cold
me da un poco de frío.
and I need to be held a certain way.
Tengo que alguien me agarre de una manera.
Let me tell you something.
Déjame decirte algo.
You need somebody in your bed with you at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Si necesitas a alguien en tu cama a la 1 de la mañana,
Amen.
amén.
I'll give you 3.
Te voy a dar 3.
Father,
El
Son, and
Padre,
Holy
el Hijo y el
Spirit.
Espíritu Santo.
They will keep you
Te
warm.
van a mantener
They will hold you tight.
caliente, te van a
They will
apretar,
take care of you
te van a
like you
cuidar
more than you deserve.
más de lo que mereces.
And they don't smell that.
Y no huelen a feo.
Amen.
Amén.
Praise that enough
Eso es
is
suficiente.
worth $1 million.
Vale millones de dólares.
Isaiah says in 6:8, then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And whom will go for us? And I said, here I am, send me. You know there's going to be people like that.
Hay gente que va a decir eso.
There's going to be people like that. I'll do it.
Hay gente que va a decir, yo
I'll
hago, yo voy,
I'll pray.
yo voy a orar.
But there's going to be others that are going to be like Jonas.
Pero van a haber otras que son como Jonás.
Pray again. And they're going to leave. They're going to go in the opposite direction. There'll be people like Moses.
Va a haber gente como Moisés.
Moses was with the program.
Moisés estaba con el programa.
Moses loved what God was going to do. He just wanted somebody else to do it.
Él amaba lo que Dios quería hacer, solo quería que otra
Porque say
persona
amen.
lo hiciera. Cuando dicen amén.
Man, that sounds great.
Uy, se escucha muy
Man,
bueno.
let's go out evangelize. Yeah, let's
Vamos
do
y
it.
evangelizamos.
And let's do missions too. Yeah, let's
Hacemos
do
misiones
it.
también,
Ooh,
vamos.
yeah. I think Gene should be in charge.
Yo creo que Jim debe estar de cargo.
You know those people that come up with all the great ideas, but they do nothing?
Esas personas que crean todas las ideas pero no hacen nada.
I think we need to do this song.
Creo que tenemos que cantar esta canción.
Do it.
Hazlo.
Oh, but me, I don't know.
No, pero yo no.
So God is, I don't even want to go there.
No quiero ir para allá.
Psalm 139.
Salmos 1:39.
Almost done.
Ya casi terminamos.
7 and 8.
7 y 8.
Listen to this. Everybody listen to this. Psalm 139, 7 and 8. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. We cannot continue to believe that we fly under the radar.
No podemos continuar de
God
pensar
sees it all.
que Dios nos puede
You
ver.
can't hide from God.
Él nos ve, no te puedes esconder de Dios.
So Nehemiah
Nehemías
said, I won't hide.
dijo, no me voy a
And
esconder.
Nehemiah began to pray.
Empezó a orar.
And Nehemiah begins to pray now focused. His first couple of days
Nehemías oró enfocado en los primeros días.
were prayers of a heartbroken person.
La oración fue de un corazón derrotado.
Can I get an amen? Have you ever had your heart broken?
¿Has tenido tu corazón quebrantado?
I have.
Yo sí.
And your prayers aren't always the best prayers.
Y tu oración no es la mejor.
Lord,
Señor,
I know I'm supposed to love him.
yo sé que estoy supuesto a amarlo,
But if you kill him, Lord,
pero si lo matas,
it will be okay with me.
va a estar bien.
I accept your will if that's your will. I really
Acepto
want it
tu
to be your
voluntad,
will.
si eso es tu voluntad, quiero que sea
If
tu
you
voluntad.
take him, Lord,
Si te lo llevas,
we pray those prayers sometimes.
a veces oramos esas oraciones, ¿no es cierto?
Or we pray desperation. Sometimes we pray ridiculous prayers.
Oramos en desesperación, oramos cosas
In a moment of
ridículas.
desperation, we will promise God,
En un momento de desesperación le prometemos a Dios todo,
right or wrong.
¿sí o no?
Oh my God, my daughter, what am I going to do?
Mi hija, ¿qué voy a hacer?
Lord,
Señor,
if you get her out of this,
si la sacas de esto,
I will serve you.
te voy a servir.
I will go to church every day.
Voy a la iglesia todos los días.
I will fast.
Voy a ayunar.
I don't like to fast.
No me gusta ayunar.
I'm going to come up with a new thing called slowing.
Voy a empezar una nueva cosa que se llama despacio.
We don't like it, but you know what?
No nos gusta, pero ¿sabes qué?
In desperation, you'll do that.
En tiempo de desesperación lo haces.
And then what happens?
¿Y qué sucede?
Because it wasn't real, it'll last very little.
Porque no fue real, solo dura un poquito.
So Nehemiah ends
Nehemías termina
by asking and organizing his prayer. He says, may God give him favor
Él organiza su oración, pide
Listen
que
to
Dios
this.
le dé favor
in the presence
en la presencia
of the king.
del rey.
And he says, tomorrow.
Y él dice, mañana.
Amen.
Amén.
May the Lord give me favor in the presence of the
Que
king
el Señor me dé favor en la presencia del Señor,
tomorrow.
del rey, mañana.
Amen.
Amén.
Because he realizes that God is going to send him.
Se da cuenta que Dios lo va a mandar a él.
He's got to pick himself up and he's got to do what he's got to do. So he says tomorrow.
Él
Let's
se tiene que
go.
levantar y hacer lo que tiene que hacer.
Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 2.
Nehemías capítulo 2.
Now in chapter 1 verse 1,
En capítulo 1, versículo 1,
he says,
él dice,
he's speaking in his memoirs of autumn.
él está hablando.
Amen.
Amén.
In chapter 2,
En capítulo 2,
he says, early the following spring.
él dice, temprano en la primavera.
Look at say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
How many seasons is that?
¿Cuántas temporadas hay?
2 seasons.
2 temporadas fueron.
2 seasons.
2 temporadas.
2 seasons pass by.
2 temporadas pasaron.
When we pray,
Cuando oramos,
we have to understand that sometimes your answer doesn't literally come tomorrow.
Tenemos que entender que tu respuesta no viene mañana.
The reason why Nehemiah says tomorrow
La razón por cual Nehemías decir
and how
mañana
we should take
y
it
cómo lo debemos tomar
is because there is no today or tomorrow or yesterday for God.
es porque no hay hoy o ayer o mañana para Dios.
Because say amen.
Cuando dicen amén.
So when we go before the Lord, we just need to know that it's coming.
Cuando venimos delante del Señor tenemos que saber que
Nehemiah
viene.
prays and he says, I want to find favor in front of the king.
Nehemías dice que quiere encontrar favor delante del rey.
And it's spring now.
Y ahora es primavera.
What does that tell
¿Qué
you?
te dice?
You got to be persistent in your
Tienes que ser
prayer.
persistente en tu oración.
If God promised you something, you better make sure it's a promise from God.
Dios te prometió algo, tienes
Number
que
two.
asegurarte que es de Dios. Número dos,
You better be persistent.
tienes que ser persistente.
Because tomorrow doesn't literally mean tomorrow.
Porque mañana no significa mañana.
Can I get an
Ponte
amen?
un amén.
Some of you have promises
Unos de ustedes tienen promesas
and you're waiting, but tomorrow doesn't mean tomorrow.
y están esperando, pero mañana no significa mañana.
It just means not today.
Significa que no hoy.
And our persistence
Nuestra
will see
persistencia
those things materialize in our lives.
va a ver que esas cosas se convierten en material.
It took 6 months.
Le tomó 6 meses.
6 months for what?
6 meses
His
para,
request?
para,
No.
para lo que pidió, no.
No. See, his prayer is bigger than that.
Su oración es más
Porque se
grande que
llama-
eso. ¿Cuántos dicen amén?
His purpose is what? He needs
Su propósito es que él necesita
to rebuild
construir
Jerusalem.
Jerusalén.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
Amén, say amen.
That's his plan. That's his purpose.
Es su plan, su propósito.
So, 6 months to get what?
6 meses para recibir qué?
Permission.
Permiso.
6 months he prayed.
6 meses lo oró.
6 months so that the king
6 meses para que el
would
rey
have favor.
pueda tener favor.
6 months.
6 meses.
That's like a pre-prayer.
Esto es como una oración,
Amen? That's like a preparation prayer.
como una oración de preparación.
The big job is still ahead of him. Guys,
El trabajo grande todavía
el
está
plan
delante.
grande, el propósito grande todavía está ahí.
The big purpose is still there.
Dios no ha terminado.
God isn't done.
Pero hay que tomar las cosas un paso a la vez.
But you have to take things one step at a time.
Nehemías entendía
Nehemiah understood.
que para poder llegar allá
To be able to get there,
hay muchos pasos que tengo que dar.
there are a lot of steps that he had to take.
So voy a empezar a orar primeramente que el rey tenga favor por mí para dejarme ir.
I'm going to start praying that the Lord has favor over me so that I can go.
He didn't just start praying, build the wall, build the wall, build the wall. Give me a second. Build the wall. He didn't do that.
No empezó a orar, tengo que construir una pared, construir una pared.
He prayed with strategy.
Oró con estrategias.
I know I have to go to Jerusalem.
Yo sé que tengo que ir a Jerusalén.
I gotta go.
Tengo que ir.
God's telling me to go.
Dios me está diciendo que tengo que ir.
So let's go.
Entonces vamos.
First thing I'm going to do
Primero
is I'm going to pray
voy a orar
for a departure.
por la salida.
I'm going to pray that the king let me go.
Voy a orar que el rey me deje ir.
And it's not that easy.
No es tan fácil.
As I think about it,
En lo que
we're at
pienso,
war.
estamos en guerra.
So,
Entonces,
for me to get to where I have to get, I'm going to go through some war zones.
para que llegue a donde tengo que ir, tengo que pasar por...
So I'm going to need more than
Zonas de
just the
guerra.
king's permission.
Necesito más que el
I'm going to need letters
permiso del rey.
and
Necesito letras
decrees and all kinds of things to get me past all that.
y decretos para pasar todo eso.
Early the following spring, 2 seasons later,
2 temporadas
in the
después,
month of Nisan, during the 20th year of King Artaxerxes' reign, I was serving the king his wine. I had never before appeared sad in his presence. Guys, this is 6 months later.
estos 6 meses después,
I had never before appeared sad in his presence. So the king asked me,
2.
do you understand why I just said it's 6 months?
¿Sabes por qué acabo de decir 6 meses?
Sometimes God will ask us to pray for something.
A veces Dios nos
You
pide
have
que
a
oremos por
problem in your
algo.
life and you look like you're dying.
Tú tienes un problema en tu vida y te ves como si te estás muriendo.
Look and say amen.
¿Cuánto dicen amén?
You are dying.
Te estás muriendo.
Dying. 6 months. And the
6
king,
meses.
who he was with the king all the time, didn't even realize it. Couldn't even see it on him.
Y el
Because he
rey
wasn't being a baby.
no se daba de cuenta porque no estaba actuando como un bebé.
So the king asked me, why are you looking so sad? You don't look sick to me. You must be deeply troubled. Then I was terrified. He was afraid. He was afraid.
Yes.
Who could say amen? How many people sometimes are afraid?
¿Cuántas personas temen?
All the time.
Todo el tiempo.
All the time. But what do you do in your fear?
¿Pero qué haces en tu temor?
You press forward in your fear.
Sigues adelante.
You don't back down.
No te
You
sientas.
press forward.
Sigues adelante.
So even in his fear, knowing that it could cost him his life, I'm going to do this.
Es un temor, aunque le pueda costar su vida.
Why did he do it?
¿Por qué lo hizo?
Why?
¿Por qué?
Why was he so bold?
¿Por qué era tan valiente?
Because he'd been praying
Porque estaba orando
6 months,
6 meses,
fasting and praying,
ayunando y orando.
just for this, not the whole thing,
Solamente para esto, no
just
para
to
el
get an
resto.
exit,
Solo para coger una salida.
just to find favor in front of the king. He prayed for 2 seasons.
Para encontrar favor delante del rey, oró por 2 temporadas.
And when it came, you know what? He was fearful.
Y cuando vino, ¿sabes qué? Él temó.
He was fearful, but you know what he did?
Pero ¿sabes lo que hizo?
He replied. He took a step.
Le contestó y le
He
dijo,
opened his mouth.
abrió su boca.
He didn't chicken out.
Y no,
But I replied, long live the king. How can I not be sad? For the city where my ancestors are buried is in ruins, and the gates have been destroyed by fire. Listen to this.
4.
The king asked, well, how can I help you? What king says that to a slave?
Que el rey le dice eso a un esclavo.
A king that now has been touched by the hand of God.
Un rey que ahora ha sido tocado por la mano de Dios.
With a prayer to the God of heaven, he tells the king, pray. Guy's got guts. I replied, if it pleased the king, and if you are pleased with me, your servant, send me to Judah to rebuild the city where my ancestors are buried. The king, with the queen sitting beside him, asked, how long will you be gone? Why do you think the king asked that?
¿Por qué crees que el rey le preguntó eso?
Anybody tell me?
¿Alguien puede decir?
Because the king wanted to eat.
Porque el rey quería comer,
Right or wrong?
¿sí o no?
King wanted to eat and drink, and this guy was the guy who would be testing everything.
El rey quería comer y tomar y este era el que probaba toda la comida.
If you're going to send people on vacation, you're probably not going to want that guy to go.
Si vas a mandar gente en vacaciones, no vas a mandar a este muchacho.
When will you return? After I told him how long I would be gone, the king agreed to my request. I also said to the king, if it please the king, let me have letters addressed to the governors of the province west of the Euphrates River, instructing them to let me travel safely through their territories on my way to Judah. And please give me a letter addressed to Asaph, the manager of the king's forest, instructing him to give me timber. I will need it to make my beams for the gates of the temple fortress, for the city walls, and for a house for myself. And the king granted these requests because the gracious hand of God was on him. Amen. Do you have vision?
¿Tienes visión?
Do you have promises?
¿Tienes promesas?
There's people here that have them.
Hay personas aquí que lo tienen.
You have promises.
Tienes promesas.
God has given you vision. You know that God has greater things for you.
Dios te ha dado visión. Tú sabes que Dios tiene cosas más grandes para ti.
And all you've done
Y todo lo que has hecho
is wait.
es esperar.
Waiting is over.
El esperar ya se acabó.
Waiting is over.
El tiempo de esperar ya se
It's
acabó.
time for you to fall to your knees
Es tiempo que te arrodilles
and cry out to God.
y le llores a Dios.
It is time for you to fulfill
Es tiempo que
and have
cumplas
faith
y tengas fe
like Nehemiah.
como Nehemías.
He knew
Él sabía
that only God.
que solo Dios.
Tell the person next to you.
Dile a la persona al lado tuyo,
Only God.
solo Dios.
Where you are right now in the situation that you need, there is no other answer.
Donde estás ahora en la situación que estás, no hay otra
That's
respuesta.
it.
Eso es todo.
Only God.
Solo Dios.
Only God.
Solo Dios.
There is no other options.
No hay otra opción.
You can't wait anymore.
Ya no puedes esperar.
You can't keep telling people to sign you up in the prayer petition.
No le puedes decir a la gente que te firme
You
la
can't.
petición de oración.
It's time for you to get up.
Es tiempo que te pares.
And when I say get up, getting up starts on your knees.
Y cuando te digo que te pares, eso empieza a estar arrodillado.
And take it to God.
Y llévaselo a Dios.
And create a plan.
Crea un plan.
And allow God to be God in your life.
Permite que Dios sea Dios en tu
And
vida.
those doors of opposition that are slammed shut,
Y esas puertas de oposición que están cerradas,
if it's God that promised,
si es Dios que te prometió,
He will open the door.
Él va a abrir la puerta.
You don't have to. There's people in this room that are exhausted.
Hay personas aquí que están cansadas.
Can I get an amen?
Por si un amén.
Exhausted from trying to bust the door open.
Cansadas de tratar de romper la
Or
puerta abierta.
exhausted trying to keep the door shut.
O cansadas de mantener la puerta cerrada.
Let go of the door.
Suelta la puerta.
Just let the door go.
Deja que la puerta se vaya.
And trust in
Y
God.
confía en Dios.
Trust in God.
Confía en Dios.
Let's all stand up.
Todos pongamos de pie.
Nehemiah.
Nehemías.
What a job.
Qué trabajo que tuvo.
Not a great job.
No un trabajo tan bueno.
Never knowing if he was going to die.
Nunca sabía cuándo se iba a morir.
But he was faithful.
Pero era fiel.
And he was faithful to
Y
God.
fue fiel a Dios.